Hello, it is Tuesday, June 20th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Tuesday puzzle today, which means another themed puzzle, and it shouldn't be too challenging, so hopefully we have a relatively approachable solve today. And I hope that because speaking of things I was hoping I would have time for the extra clues at the end of today's puzzle. Yesterday's clues I may not, because I'm once again very much pressed for time. So I do hope this is an approachable crossword. And in any case, this somewhat time-constrained edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Kathleen Quinn, Quotidiophile, Overfull Hitbox, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the indomitable Shoalmaster, and the incredible Horan family. Thank you to those 6 benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign for their generous support, sustaining this channel, keeping this series going. For that, I'm extremely grateful. I'm grateful, of course, to the support of everybody who is a patron, so thank you if that includes you. But also, if not, thanks for watching this video. If you would like to become a patron, explore that those benefits, you can head over to patreon.com/dailysolve or click the link in the description field. There you can find all of the bonus videos that have gone up on the channel. And as a benefactor, you're also entitled to the Let's Check the Crosses Daily Solve exclusive mug. I was informed today, though, by a benefactor that he has not received his mug. So if you're in that position as well, I very much apologize if you've been a benefactor for the requisite amount of time and haven't received your mug. I've contacted Patreon support to see what's going on with the mug situation. So very hopeful that is resolved soon. And apologies if that's inconvenienced you as well. In any case, there's a link to the Patreon in the description field, of course. And do subscribe to the YouTube channel if you've not gotten around to that. And finally, there's the Daily Solve Discord chat server, a nice friendly chat community that is also linked from the description field. So now that that's all out of the way, let's get on to today's crossword. This is a Tuesday crossword constructed by Amy Lucido, who's constructed somewhere around a dozen puzzles for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. It is a Tuesday puzzle, so we'll have a theme. Let's find out what it is, and let's start solving. Bobby Gentry's Blank to Billy Joe. I don't know this song, but I would bet it's an ode. I would bet we're kicking off this puzzle with the official poetic form of the New York Times crossword, in this case, put to song. I assume it's put to song anyway. I suppose it could just be a poem, frequently in verse. Now, that's a nice cross with what is potentially ode, would be oft for often in a poetic, contracted sense. Okay, I'm such a bozo. Yeah, dope, you could say. How could I have done that? Feathered creature in Liberty Mutual ads. I don't know, but a feathered creature in 3 letters starting with E could be an emu, so that could be the answer. Anxiety-based reason to attend a party in modern lingo. That's FOMO, fear of missing out. You might attend a party for that reason as much as for the enjoyment itself, I suppose. Hyatt alternative is, Hyatt is a hotel brand. Omni is also a hotel brand, so that could be an alternative to Hyatt. And compact images on a desktop. Thumbnails? Yeah, oops, no, thumbnails, there we go. Sure, you could have thumbnails of YouTube videos, for instance, which I construct every day. First woman in Greek myth. Oh, that I don't think I know offhand. Well, that's a shame. But here we have another official New York Times word here. The purplish fruit used in smoothies is, of course, acai, the official berry of the New York Times crossword. So, ode to the acai. That could be I guess I was going to say you could do a theme made up of all of these, but I suppose maybe that would be a bit irritating. Those words are already in the puzzle every day. Front row at a chess tournament. The front row of pawns, perhaps on either side of the chessboard. Oh, Pandora. Pandora, first woman in Greek myth. Right, okay. I'd kind of forgotten about that element of that story. Okay. Obviously, Pandora's box being the thing that has made it into the sort of universally into the culture. Sneeze sound, the chew is the sound of a sneeze. So we finished this off, which is a distress call, SOS, there we go. Actor Nick of Hotel Rwanda, must be Nick Nolte, the actor. And a political campaign made up of a series of short appearances. That's a whistle stop tour, which is so named from the age when presidential candidates would traverse the country on rail. And so you'd have these sort of whistle stop stations that weren't major stations. So the train wouldn't necessarily stop there, but there would be, if it would need to stop because somebody was needing to disembark or embark on the or to get on the train, there was whistle involved in some way to facilitate that. And anyway, so the presidents would sort of show up on the train, and it would kind of stop, and then they would give an address from the train without stepping off. And so it was sort of this whistle stop kind of mentality where they would just kind of pause there for a moment, give their stump speech essentially, and move on. And anyway, that phrase has remained, whistle stop tour, to mean a kind of rapid fire tour of many locations in a political campaign. All right, a person who can't be the victim of a pickpocket would be a nudist, of course, no pockets to pick. And a candy brand from Germany is Haribo. It's a German sort of little gummy candy brand, I suppose. Poppable packing material is bubble wrap. Oh, and this is highlighted. So, right, okay, it's thematic. Oh, right, didn't even notice that Whistle Stop was one of these as well, right. So bubble wrap, Whistle Stop tour, absolutely lose it, or a hint to 6, 18, 21, and 24 down. I'm not sure what that is offhand. All right, we'll have to come back to it. Man in France would be which is just man, word for man. Popular typeface, starting with an A and 5 letters. I assume it's Arial. And tiny computer with a dessert-inspired name, Raspberry Pi. Never used one of these, but I know they exist. They're these little tiny computers on a chip. And I think they probably run Linux, I guess. And people use them for, I think, little robotics tasks and things like that. Or just anything. I guess you could just make all sorts of little devices with them. You could lose something, you could misplace it. And, well, Jacques Brel is alive and well and living in Paris. 1968 musical. I don't know the musical, but Jacques Brel is an extremely famous singer. So sort of a towering figure of the Francophone music world. Jacques Brel. All right. And green prefix would be eco. And Spanish bear is oso, the bear is a bear in Spanish. Symbol of strength and endurance is an oak tree, I suspect. Speaking of trees, this looks like maple, is it? Yes, with 68 across, pancake topping would be maple syrup, so we can put that down there. This looks like elbows? Yes, nudges to move over, say. You could elbow somebody to make room for you. And what a book review might spoil the plot of the film. And here in French, we have raison d'être, which is literally reason to be. So you're kind of you're sort of motivating, I don't know, ethos or whatever sort of thing drives you. Milieu for snorkeling is the sea. So the milieu, there's the place where snorkeling takes place. Seniors organization is AARP, which I think is the American Association of or for retired people or persons. Auto competition that's not held on a track. A derby? And R is certainly correct. Let's see. 72 at Augusta National. That's a golf tournament, right? So it must be the total par. And yeah, right. Pshaw, maybe? Could be. Metal for recycling is scrap metal. Starting on is as of, so you could say as of tomorrow, starting on tomorrow. And attention-grabbing shouts are haze, you could yell to somebody. Speedy Amtrak service is the Acela. This is the ostensibly high-speed rail line between, what is the total route? Is it Boston to Washington, D.C., maybe? But it's a major Eastern Seaboard rail line, and there's a standard service, and then the Acela is faster service. It's not that much faster, to be honest. Attention-grabbing shouts are haze, right? We saw that. Okay. Big name in dog food. Oh, this was, oh, Raspberry Pi. I simply misspelled it. Yes, Raspberry Pi, and it's spelled obviously it evokes the dish Raspberry Pi, but is pi is spelled like the mathematical constant pi. So just a little computer pun there, I suppose. Ragamuffin is a waif, a sort of young waif, a ragamuffin, and error of 48 hours and 60 minutes. I think that's CBS, the U.S. broadcast network, and a wash day item that may be used indoors or outdoors. A clothesline, a clothes pin, maybe? Clothespin to hang something. Oh, an auto competition that's not held on a track. A rally, so you could have a rally race. Yep, okay. There you go. It's held on... so what do you call it? You don't call it a track. You call it a rally route or something? I mean, it's obviously defined. It's a defined route, but it's not a sort of paved track. Popeye's burly foe is Bluto. And... from the comic Popeye. And et tu, Brute? Caesar said in Shakespeare, probably not actually in reality. Place to buy goodies for kids would be a toy shop, I suppose. And nuclear experiments for short are A-tests, for atomic tests. This is one of those things that can be any number of different initial letters. I mean, A-bomb, H-bomb. I think I've even seen things like N-tests for nuclear tests. So the bombs and tests, sort of different evocations of atomic bomb concepts, can have a number of different prefixes. That used to happen in the crossword actually much more often. I haven't seen it as frequently recently. But just so you know, that's the kind of thing that can happen. So in some cases, you need the crosses in order to get the first word, the first letter. Attention-grabbing whisper could be psst. And time and tide wait for no man, the saying goes. Animal that hunts for truffles is a pig. From this day forward, vow is I do in a wedding vow. A butterfly catcher is a net. If you comprehended something, you got it. Chatted away is yapped. Lovingly spoiled with on. You could dote on, or grandparents might dote on their grandchildren. Shout to school. I don't know. This is a school in France? Oh, does it just mean generally a school in France? I was trying to think, is it referring to a specific educational institution? But maybe not. Maybe it's just école for school in French. Let's see if that's right. And of course, when you see a place name like this, very often what it means is simply that we're either referring to a thing in that place, or we're using a word from the language spoken in that place. And in this case, I think it's the latter. All right, flamenco cheer could be ole. All right, so cola's looking good. You can stop, I get it. Okay, you could say exasperatedly. Starchy deep-fried bite would be a tater tot, I think. A little fried little sort of mashed potato thing, I guess. Not mashed, shredded potatoes, I guess. Fried shredded potatoes. 1948 musical based on The Taming of the Shrew. Oh, Kiss Me Kate. Right, okay, I recognize that. And then... so what is going on here? Absolutely lose it, or a hint. Do 6, 18, 21, and 24 down. What is this? Absolutely lose it. Oh, I don't know. I wish I could see it. Oh, I'm not sure. Blank polo, pool game. Marco Polo is a game you play in the pool where one of the children covers their eyes and has to find the other people. All right, dispensed is something. And this in Spanish is esta, maybe? Old Russian ruler is a czar. There we go. Big retailer of rock climbing gear is REI, the sort of sporting wear and outdoor wear cooperative in the U.S. Actress Gar is Terry Gar. There we go. Oh, dispensed, issued. You dispensed advice, you issued advice, or you could issue something officially. So, all right, what is this? Absolutely lose it. Is this esto? Why am I not getting this? Absolutely lose it. Oh, I just can't, it's so frustrating. Fuzzy fruits, though, are kiwis, famously fuzzy skinned fruit. And sparkling wine region, Asti is an Italian wine region. Sesame Street Muppet whose last name rhymes with her first. I'm not sure. I wonder if I'll recognize it. We'll have to find out. Casablanca co-star informally. Bogey, Humphrey Bogart. He was called that sometimes. Let's see. Purplish fruit used in gin. Slow is in a slow gin fizz. Slow gin obviously made with slow fruit. Attire in old Rome could be a toga. And thus far would be yet. It hasn't happened thus far. It hasn't happened yet. I've not thus far gotten the theme. What raises a bit of dough would be yeast. Yeast, of course, literally raises dough. You could read this and think it means, oh, you're raising money, you're attracting investment. But no, the question mark is cluing us in that we're mean it in a punnier, in this case, more literal way. Okay, Abby, whose last name rhymes with her first. Abby, okay, I don't know her last name. Abby, Tabby, Abby, Gabby, could be anything. Oh, blow your top, blow your top. You could blow a kiss, blow a whistle, blow a bubble, or blow a raspberry. There we go. All right. And that's the crossword. A nice straightforward theme and completely eluded me. Let me know if you managed to spot the connections between these without seeing the revealer. If you happen to notice that raspberries, bubbles, whistles, and kisses are all things you can blow. That actually sort of sounds like, an example of a group of concepts from The Wall, which is a sort of element of the BBC quiz show Only Connect, which I really enjoy. I've watched for a while, and the reason I bring it up is because the New York Times has launched a new word game called Connections that essentially takes that exact concept from Only Connect. You have to sort a grid of 16 concepts into 4 groups of relevant concepts, and often there's a bit of misdirection. So, you could imagine there also being something like blow your chance. So the wall might have raspberry, bubble, whistle, kiss, and chance, and then one of those isn't the 4 sort of blow-related words and would have to then be part of a different collection of 4. Anyway, I bring this all up because I've been solving connections each day for the past few days on on the videos, the shorts that I do in addition to Wordle and Plusword. So if you're interested in that, check out my daily connections shorts. I don't know how long I'm going to keep it going. It's a bit much to be doing this many of these word games every day. Fortunately, I try and keep them under a minute, so they don't take a huge amount of my time, but it all adds up with the publishing and the rendering the videos and everything else. Anyway, check that out if you're interested. And like I said, I unfortunately don't have time for the extra clues from yesterday's puzzle today, so I'm going to wrap this video up. I really will try and get back to it tomorrow if I can. In any case, thank you for joining me for today's crossword. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know how you fared with this one. And I will be back tomorrow with the Wednesday crossword, midweek, mid-difficulty puzzle, so do join me then. But until that point, please do have an excellent remainder of your Tuesday. Take care.